The invitation arrived on a Tuesday, printed on cream colored cardstock that probably cost more than my weekly grocery budget. My mother's perfect cursive spelled out family reunion dinner in shimmering gold ink. I almost deleted the photo my sister Cadence sent of it without reading the rest. My name is Ella, and until 3 years ago, I was supposed to be a lawyer. Now I'm a YouTuber with 2 million subscribers who investigates corporate corruption and social justice issues. My family hasn't quite forgiven me for that career pivot. You're actually going? Jordan asked, adjusting her camera setup in my home office. We were preparing to film a segment about wage theft at local restaurants. The last time you saw your family, your mom spent 20 minutes explaining how influencers are ruining society. While watching TikTok videos on her phone, I added, checking my makeup in the monitor. But this is different. Dad's turning 60 next month. Maybe they're finally ready to accept that I'm not going back to law school. Jordan snorted. Yeah, and maybe I'm secretly a duchess. The estate looked exactly as I remembered, a sprawling colonial that screamed old money and older judgments. Cadence's Tesla was already parked in the circular driveway, along with several other luxury vehicles I didn't recognize. Ella, darling, my mother Lucille's voice carried across the manicured lawn. She air kissed both my cheeks, her signature Chanel No. 5 overwhelming my senses. You look comfortable. I glanced down at my blazer and silk blouse. Thanks, Mom. Cadence just made partner at her firm, she said, steering me toward the house, and Franklin's been shortlisted for that judgeship he's been pursuing. That's great, I replied, noting how she'd already managed to work my sister's achievements into the first 30 seconds of conversation. My latest investigation hit 5 million views and helped secure back pay for over 300 workers. Oh, you're still doing those little videos? Inside, the house buzzed with more people than I expected for a simple family dinner. Aunts, uncles, cousins, and various family friends milled about, all dressed like they were attending a charity gala rather than a casual reunion. Baby sister! Cadence descended the main staircase like she was filming a scene for Dynasty, her designer dress probably worth more than my car. Her husband Franklin followed, wearing his usual smirk. We didn't think you'd come. Wouldn't miss it, I said, accepting her too tight hug, though I'm surprised to see the whole extended family here for dinner. Father insisted, she replied smoothly. You know how he is about legacy and family unity. Speaking of father, Edmund Stanley appeared at my elbow, martini in hand. Ella, good of you to join us. He cleared his throat. I trust you're being careful with those online exposés of yours. Wouldn't want any legal complications. Don't worry, Dad. I have excellent lawyers. I didn't mention they were the same ones who'd helped me take down that corrupt councilman last month. Dinner was a carefully choreographed affair. I noticed immediately that I'd been seated at the center of the long table, with family members arranged around me in concentric circles like some sort of tribunal. My mother's makeup was camera ready, and she kept glancing at her watch. The first warning bell rang when I spotted my cousin recording everything on his phone. The second came when I noticed a projector screen had been quietly set up behind the dessert table. My mother stood, tapping her wine glass with a silver spoon. The room fell silent except for the subtle clicks of several phones switching to video mode. We're all here tonight, she began, her voice trembling with rehearsed emotion, because we love you, Ella. My stomach dropped as the projector hummed to life. In my peripheral vision, I caught Jordan, who I'd invited as my plus one, discreetly pressing something on her phone under the table. This is an intervention, my mother continued, tears glistening perfectly in her eyes, because we cannot stand by and watch you destroy yourself and our family's reputation any longer." The screen behind her flickered to life, displaying a carefully edited montage of my most controversial videos, stripped of context and crafted to paint me as an unstable attention seeker. As my sister stood to deliver what was clearly a prepared speech, I felt a strange calm settle over me. They thought they were staging an intervention to save their reputation. They had no idea they were about to star in their own takedown video. Cadence's heels clicked against the hardwood floor as she circled the table like a prosecutor approaching a witness stand. We've watched with growing concern as you've thrown away everything we've given you, she began, her voice dripping with practiced concern. A prestigious law school acceptance, connections, opportunities. I kept my face neutral, though my hands trembled slightly under the table. The projector continued cycling through cherry picked clips of my videos, moments taken out of context, edited to make my passionate reporting look unhinged. Your behavior has become increasingly erratic, my mother chimed in, dabbing at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief, attacking respected business leaders, encouraging civil disobedience. You mean exposing wage theft and corruption? I interrupted, my voice steady, despite the growing knot in my stomach. Franklin leaned forward, his corporate lawyer smile firmly in place. Ella, please, let your family speak. We're here to help. Around the table, phones continued recording. Aunt Margaret shook her head sadly. Uncle Robert looked away, suddenly fascinated by his wine glass. My cousin Tracy actually smirked. Your latest video about that development project, Cadence continued, was particularly concerning. Do you realize you could be sued? I caught Jordan's eye across the table. She gave me the tiniest nod, confirmation that everything was being captured on our live stream. That development project, I replied carefully, was built on illegally seized land. The evidence is irrefutable. Evidence? My father scoffed. YouTube views and social media likes aren't evidence, Ella. They're attention seeking. The projector switched to a new slide, screenshots of comments from my videos. They'd cherry picked the negative ones, the trolls, the threats. Of course, they'd ignored the thousands of supportive messages, the testimonials from people I'd helped. We've consulted with Dr. Harrison, my mother said, gesturing to a distinguished looking man I'd never seen before. He specializes in social media addiction and personality disorders. The doctor cleared his throat. Based on what your family has shared, I'm deeply concerned about patterns of grandiose thinking and attention seeking behavior. Interesting, I cut in. Considering you've never met me or had a single session with me, is it ethical to diagnose someone based on edited video clips? A murmur rippled through the assembled guests. Dr. Harrison shifted uncomfortably. This is exactly the kind of hostile deflection we're talking about. Cadence pressed on. You're not well, Ella. You need help, professional help. We've already made arrangements with a private facility. A facility? I laughed, though there was no humor in it. You're trying to have me committed? It's a wellness retreat, my mother interjected quickly. Very exclusive, very discreet. Where I can be hidden away until I agree to live life your way. I stood slowly, my chair scraping against the floor. This isn't an intervention. It's an ambush. Sit down, my father ordered. You're making a scene. No, you all made the scene. I pulled out my phone, turning it to show the screen, and you made it in front of my entire audience. The color drained from Cadence's face as she saw the live viewer count 47,892 and climbing. Turn that off immediately, my mother hissed. Why? I asked, my voice carrying clearly for both the in person audience and my viewers. Aren't you proud of this performance? The coordinated speeches, the edited videos, the paid doctor? You put so much effort into it. Franklin stood abruptly. This is private family business. You have no right. Private? I scrolled through my phone, like these emails I received showing you've been planning this for months, coaching everyone on what to say, hiring a PR firm to manage the fallout. You're proving our point, Cadence snapped, but her perfect composure was cracking. This obsession with exposing people, with turning everything into content. You wanted to expose me, I replied calmly, to shame me publicly in front of family and friends. But you forgot something important about public shame, sister dear. It works both ways. The live stream chat was exploding. Comments flooded in, condemning my family's behavior, sharing similar stories of toxic relatives, expressing support. If you don't stop recording right now, Cadence leaned in close, her voice a venomous whisper. You have no idea what you're bringing down on yourself. I met her gaze steadily. Actually, I do. I learned from the best after all. You taught me everything I know about destroying someone's reputation. The only difference is I do it to people who deserve it. The first guest stood up and walked out, then another. The carefully orchestrated intervention was unraveling, and my family knew it. But this was just the beginning. They wanted to break me down. I was about to show them exactly what it meant to go viral. This is disgusting, announced Mrs. Swanson, my mother's oldest friend, as she gathered her designer purse. I was told this was an intervention for drug abuse, not whatever this circus is. My mother's perfectly composed facade cracked slightly. Cynthia, please, save it, Lucille. I've watched every one of Ella's videos. She's doing important work, and you're all trying to gaslight her. Mrs. Swanson turned to me. Keep exposing the truth, dear. Some of us actually respect that. The live stream chat exploded with praise for Mrs. Swanson as she walked out. My phone buzzed continuously with notifications, shares, comments, and messages of support pouring in faster than I could process them. Turn it off, my father demanded, his face reddening. Turn that damn stream off right now. Or what? I challenged. You'll send me to my room without dinner? I'm 30 years old, Dad. Your threats don't work anymore. Jordan stood up, camera in hand, capturing everything from a different angle. The backup files are already uploaded and secured, by the way, just in case anyone's thinking about trying to delete anything. Franklin pulled out his phone, fingers flying across the screen. I'm calling our attorney. This is a violation of privacy laws. Actually, I interrupted, Connecticut is a one party consent state for recording. I'm one of the parties present, and I consent. But please, call your lawyer. I'm sure he'd love to hear how you tried to have me involuntarily committed based on a diagnosis from a doctor who never treated me. More guests began filtering out, murmuring among themselves. The carefully orchestrated intervention was dissolving into chaos. My mother had stopped dabbing her eyes with her handkerchief, her mascara now slightly smeared as real tears threatened to fall. You ungrateful little. Cadence grabbed my arm, pulling me aside. Do you have any idea what you're doing to this family? Showing them exactly who they are? I yanked my arm free. Or are you worried about what else might come out if people start digging? Something flickered in her eyes. Fear, maybe. What are you talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't actually, but her reaction told me there was definitely something worth investigating. The hired doctor had already slipped out, probably worried about his medical license. My father was on the phone with someone, speaking in harsh whispers. The remaining guests huddled in small groups, smartphones out, probably already checking social media for the fallout. This ends now, my mother announced, approaching with her own phone out. I'm calling the police. Jordan laughed. To report what? That your daughter recorded you trying to publicly humiliate her? Please do. I'm sure the officers would love to see the evidence of premeditation we've collected. My mother's hand shook as she lowered her phone. You want war? Cadence hissed in my ear. You have no idea what you're bringing down on yourself. We will bury you. I turned to face her, making sure the camera caught her expression. No, sister dear. You already tried to bury me. Now I'm rising from the grave you dug, and I'm bringing receipts. What's happening? Tracy asked, staring at her phone. Ella's trending on Twitter. Franklin grabbed his wife's arm. We're leaving, now, before this gets any worse. Worse? I called after them. Oh, it's definitely getting worse. You might want to check your email later. I hear some interesting documents are making the rounds. You're bluffing, Cadence said, but her voice wavered. Am I? Remember what you taught me about keeping evidence just in case? I learned that from watching you destroy your law school rivals. The remaining guests quickly made their excuses and fled, leaving just my immediate family and Jordan. My father finally ended his phone call and approached, his face ashen. The board of directors is already calling, he said to no one in particular. This is going viral. That's what happens when you try to weaponize shame, I replied, gathering my things. Sometimes it backfires. Please. My mother tried one last time. We can take this down. Pretend it never happened. Like you pretended I never existed for 3 years? I headed for the door, Jordan right behind me. Too late. The internet never forgets. As we reached my car, Jordan checked her phone and whistled. 500,000 viewers, and someone just sent a very interesting tip about cadence in your Harvard application from years ago. I started the engine, my hands finally allowing themselves to shake now that we were alone. Send it to my secure email. Something tells me we're just scratching the surface of what my perfect sister has been hiding. The notifications kept coming as we drove away from my childhood home. Behind us, the carefully constructed facade of my family's reputation was already beginning to crumble, and I was just getting started. Holy shit, Jordan said, scrolling through her laptop. These emails between your mom and Cadence. They've been planning this takedown for months. We were holed up in my home office, monitoring the fallout from last night. My live stream had hit 2 million views and was still climbing. Just toxic family intervention was trending. Look at this one. Jordan turned the screen toward me. We need to make sure the narrative portrays her as unstable rather than rebellious. Rebellious can be admired, unstable will destroy her credibility. My phone buzzed. Rachel, my media contact, calling for the third time today. I finally picked up. Please tell me you're ready to go on record, she said without preamble. This story is explosive. I'm sending you something better than a quote, I replied. Check your email in 5 minutes. Full documentation of how they planned everything, including payments to that doctor who tried to diagnose me without ever meeting me. Jesus, Rachel breathed. That's highly unethical. His medical board will want to see this. A notification popped up on my screen. A direct message from Ross, the councilman I'd exposed last month for taking bribes. Karma's a bitch, isn't it? He wrote. For what it's worth, your reporting on me was accurate. I deserved it. This, though? This is just cruel. Let me know if you need a statement about your credibility and methods. Jordan suddenly sat up straighter. Ella, you need to see this. I found financial records showing your mom hired Preston and Associates 3 months ago. The PR firm? What for? To, and I quote, manage public perception and contain potential reputational damage. They paid $50,000 for a 3-month campaign. I leaned back in my chair, letting that sink in. They spent 50 grand trying to destroy me? Wait, there's more. Jordan's fingers flew across the keyboard. They also hired a private investigator to dig into your life, your friends, your sources. Amateur move, I muttered. They should know by now I don't publish anything without bulletproof documentation. My phone buzzed again. A text from Mrs. Swanson. Your mother just tried to have me removed from the hospital board for supporting you. I recorded the conversation. Want it? They're imploding, Jordan observed, watching the social media trends. Your sister's law firm is getting flooded with comments. Their Yelp page is a war zone. I was about to respond when an email notification caught my eye. The sender was anonymous, but the subject line made my heart stop. Harvard Acceptance, Class of 2011. What is it? Jordan asked, noticing my expression. With slightly shaking hands, I opened the attachment. It was a scanned letter dated 12 years ago with the Harvard University letterhead. Dear Ms. Stanley, we are pleased to inform you of your acceptance. That's impossible, I whispered. I never got an acceptance letter. They rejected me. Keep reading, Jordan urged. Below the scanned letter was a chain of emails. My sister's name jumped out immediately, along with a former admissions officer's. The exchange was brief but devastating. As requested, we've processed the withdrawal of application for Ella Stanley. Please confirm this meets your father's requirements for the donation arrangement. My phone rang. Cadence. After 4 rings, I answered, but said nothing. Whatever you think you found? She started, her voice tense. It's not what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like you and Dad conspired to withdraw my Harvard acceptance so you wouldn't have to compete with me there. A long pause. You were always the golden child, she finally said. Perfect grades, everyone's favorite, Dad's precious prodigy. I had to do something to level the playing field. By stealing my future? Oh, please, she scoffed, but I heard the tremor in her voice. You got into other schools. You still became a lawyer. Well, almost. You know what's interesting? I kept my voice steady. I bet the Bar Association would have some thoughts about an attorney who committed fraud to gain admission advantages. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. I ended the call and turned to Jordan. How fast can you put together a video about long term family betrayal? Keep it vague, but emotional. Let's see how many people connect the dots. On it, she said, already opening her editing software. What about these Harvard documents? I stared at the evidence of my sister's betrayal, years of wondering and self doubt suddenly crystallizing into cold clarity. Hold them for now, I decided. Let's see how they handle the first wave of exposure before we drop the nuclear option. My phone lit up with another text. Rachel again. Story goes live in an hour. Sure you're ready for this? I thought about my sister's words from all those years ago, the ones that echoed through my mind every time I doubted myself. Face it, Ella, you're just not Harvard material. I'm ready, I texted back. Time to show them exactly what I'm made of. Welcome back to my channel. I spoke directly into the camera, keeping my voice steady. Today's video is different. It's about family, betrayal, and the lies we tell ourselves about why we weren't good enough. Jordan gave me a thumbs up from behind the camera. We'd spent hours getting the lighting and tone perfect for this video. 12 years ago, I thought I wasn't good enough for my dream school. I believed I'd failed. That belief shaped every decision I made after, including joining a law school I never wanted to attend. My phone buzzed. Cadence again. I declined the call. But here's the thing about lies, I continued. They leave paper trails, they leave witnesses, and eventually, they come to light. The video was barely live for 10 minutes before the comments started flooding in. Wait, is this about Harvard? OMG. Did her sister actually sabotage her acceptance? No wonder she left law school. It was never her choice to begin with. My phone rang again. This time it was Franklin. Take down the video, he demanded without greeting. Cadence is having a panic attack. Funny how that works, I replied. I had plenty of those thinking I wasn't good enough for Harvard. This could ruin her career. Like she ruined my chance at my dream school? Tell her to keep watching. This is just the preview. I hung up and turned to Jordan. How's the response? Explosive. Rachel's article just dropped too. It's already being picked up by other outlets. My email pinged, a message from the Harvard admissions office. Dear Ms. Stanley, regarding your inquiry about your 2011 application. Another call, my father this time. I let it go to voicemail. You've really done it now, his message played. Your sister is in tears. Your mother can't stop vomiting. Is this what you wanted? To destroy your family? Rich coming from the man who paid to have your Harvard acceptance killed, Jordan muttered. My phone lit up with a text from Mrs. Swanson. Your mother just called me sobbing, begging me to help contain this. I told her she should have thought about consequences before trying to institutionalize you. The live stream comments kept coming. This explains so much about the intervention. They tried to commit her because she was exposing corruption, just like they did to her. Someone check on the sister. Her law firm's website is down. Ella, Jordan called out, you need to see this. She turned her screen to show me a hastily posted statement from Cadence's law firm. We are aware of the allegations circulating online and are conducting an internal review. My phone buzzed with another text, an unknown number. This is Margaret from Harvard Alumni Affairs. That withdrawal request from 2011 wasn't the only irregular admission incident involving your sister. Before I could process that, my mother's name flashed on my phone. Against my better judgment, I answered, What do you want? Please, she sobbed, her voice raw. Please stop this. We can fix this. We can get you into Harvard now. Your father has connections. Still trying to control the narrative, Mom? It's too late. The truth is already out there. You don't understand what this will do to us, to our reputation. Actually, I do. That's the point. I ended the call and turned back to the camera. Time to film, part two. You know what's interesting about family secrets? I began. They're like dominoes. Once one falls, they all start tumbling down. Jordan's eyes widened as she read something on her screen. Ella, someone just sent proof that Cadence's LSAT scores were altered before being submitted to law schools. My phone lit up again, Rachel calling. Tell me you're seeing this, she said when I answered. Three other students from your sister's year are coming forward about suspicious admission circumstances. This is bigger than just your acceptance. I thought about all the years I'd spent doubting myself, believing I wasn't good enough, while my sister built her perfect life on a foundation of lies. What's our next move? Jordan asked, camera still rolling. I looked directly into the lens, knowing Cadence would be watching. When I started this channel, I promised to expose corruption wherever I found it. I never thought I'd find it in my own family, but here we are. I took a deep breath, and I'm just getting started. The view count ticked up. The comments poured in, and somewhere across town, my sister's carefully constructed world was crumbling one revelation at a time. Sometimes karma needs a little help going viral. Breaking news, the anchor announced. Rising social media star Ella's viral expose of her family's attempted intervention has taken an unexpected turn as evidence emerges of long term academic fraud. I muted the TV and turned to Rachel, who was reviewing documents spread across my dining room table. Three more students have come forward, she said, all claiming they were mysteriously waitlisted at top law schools the same year Cadence got accepted. My phone buzzed with a text from Franklin's law firm. Due to recent events, we regret to inform you that your sister has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Ella! Jordan burst into the room, laptop in hand. You need to see this. Someone leaked your family's group chat from the past year. The screenshots were damning. My mother, writing, She's becoming a liability. Her latest investigation is getting too close to people we know. Cadence responding, "Leave it to me. I know exactly how to discredit her." A knock at my door made us all jump. Through the peephole, I saw my father standing there, alone and looking decidedly unput together. "Should I call security?" Jordan asked, reaching for her phone. "No," I said, opening the door. "Let's hear what he has to say." My father looked older than I'd ever seen him. His tie was loose, his usually perfect hair disheveled. "Can we talk? Just talk." I let him in, but kept Jordan and Rachel as witnesses. "Your sister?" he began, then stopped, swallowed. "Cadence has been admitted to the hospital. Anxiety attack. Your mother hasn't left her bed in 3 days." "That sounds like a them problem," I replied coldly. "You're still family," he pleaded. "Despite everything, we can fix this. Make it go away." "Make it go away?" I laughed. "Like you made my Harvard acceptance go away? Or like you tried to make me go away to that wellness facility?" He flinched. "I never knew about Harvard. That was between your sister and—" "Stop lying!" I slammed my hand on the table. "I have the receipts, Dad. The donation you made to Harvard the same week my application was withdrawn. The strings you pulled to get Cadence's LSAT scores altered." His face went ash gray. "How did you—" "I'm an investigative journalist. It's what I do. Maybe if you'd actually watched any of my little videos, you'd have known that." My phone pinged. A message from Ross, the councilman I'd exposed. "Just got a call from your sister's firm. They're launching a full audit of all cases she handled. This is bigger than family drama now." "Your sister's entire career is falling apart," my father said quietly. "Is that what you wanted?" "No, Dad. I wanted the truth. Cadence is facing consequences for her own actions. There's a difference." "Please." He tried one last time. "You're still my daughter." "Am I? Because the last week you were ready to have me committed for damaging the family reputation. Now look where we are." Jordan's laptop chimed. "Ella, Cadence's law firm just released another statement. They're cooperating with the Bar Association's investigation." My father sank into a chair, head in his hands. "Everything we built was built on lies," I finished, "and now everyone knows it." Rachel's phone buzzed. "Major network wants an exclusive interview. They're offering prime time." "Tell them yes," I said, not taking my eyes off my father. "It's time everyone heard the full story." "You'll destroy us completely," he whispered. "No, Dad, you did that yourselves. I'm just shining a light on the wreckage." He stood slowly, straightening his tie in a futile attempt to regain composure. "Your mother was right. We should have stopped you years ago before you learned to ask questions. But you didn't, and now I'm really good at asking questions and finding answers." As he reached the door, he turned back. "You know there's no coming back from this, right? No family dinners, no holidays, no reconciliation." I thought about the years of manipulation, the stolen opportunities, the attempted intervention. "Good, because I don't want to come back. I want to move forward without any of you." After he left, Jordan pulled up the latest social media statistics. My subscriber count had doubled. Justice for Ella was trending nationwide. The video about family betrayal had gone viral in 17 countries. "You okay?" Rachel asked softly. I looked at my phone, dozens of messages from people sharing similar stories of family betrayal and manipulation, people who felt seen, heard, validated by my story. "Yeah," I said, picking up my camera. "I'm ready to film the next part. People need to know they're not alone in standing up to toxic families. Sometimes the family you're born into isn't the family you deserve. And sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction, it's living well and telling the truth, no matter who it hurts." "So, Ella," the interviewer leaned forward, her expression perfectly calibrated for primetime empathy. "Take us back to that moment when you realized your family was staging an intervention." The studio lights were hot, but I stayed cool. This wasn't my first time in front of cameras, after all. Just my first time on national television. "I think part of me always knew something was coming," I replied. "When people spend years trying to control your narrative, you develop a sixth sense for their tactics." "And the live stream? That was planned?" "Let's just say I learned from experience to always have receipts." The interviewer pulled up a screenshot from the intervention. "Your sister Cadence appears to be leading the charge here. What was going through your mind?" Honestly, I was thinking about all the times she'd told me I wasn't good enough, how she'd always positioned herself as the successful one, the responsible one. Now we know why. My phone buzzed in my pocket, probably another cease and desist from Franklin's law firm. I'd received six in the past week. The Harvard revelation has sent shockwaves through the academic community, the interviewer continued. Multiple investigations have been launched. What do you say to people who think you went too far in exposing this? I say corruption doesn't deserve protection just because it wears designer suits and calls itself family. The interview continued, each question more pointed than the last. I answered them all, calm and collected, while the evidence spoke for itself on the screens behind us. Halfway through, Jordan, watching from the wings, gave me a thumbs up. Social media was exploding with support. Your mother released a statement this morning, the interviewer said, pulling out a card. Would you like to hear it? Sure, I replied, though my stomach tightened. My daughter's actions have deeply wounded our family. While we may have made mistakes in our approach to helping her, her vindictive response has caused irreparable harm. We pray she finds peace and returns to the values we raised her with. I couldn't help but laugh. The values they raised me with? Like lying about academic credentials, or hiring doctors to diagnose people they've never met. Those values? Strong words, the interviewer noted. Truth usually is. After the interview, my phone lit up with a text from Rachel. You're trending in 32 countries. This is bigger than anything I've ever seen. Jordan met me in the green room, tablet in hand. Cadence's law firm just announced a full internal audit of all cases she handled in the past 5 years. They're worried about potential fraud in other areas. How's she taking it? According to social media, she hasn't left her house in days. The press is camping outside. My phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. When I answered, a familiar voice spoke. Ms. Stanley, this is Dean Roberts from Harvard Law. We've reviewed the evidence you provided about your sister's admission and yours. We'd like to offer you a full scholarship to attend if you're interested. I took a deep breath. Thank you, but no. That dream belonged to a different version of me. I'm exactly where I need to be now. After hanging up, I turned to Jordan. Ready to film the follow up video? She nodded, setting up the camera. What's the angle? Truth, I said, sitting down in front of the lens. About how family secrets don't protect anyone, about how the truth might hurt, but lies destroy. The red light blinked on. I looked directly into the camera, speaking to everyone who'd ever been told to stay quiet for the family's sake. A week ago, my family tried to silence me with shame. They thought they could bury the truth under fancy words and fake concern. Instead, they taught me my most important lesson yet. Sometimes the people who claim to protect you are the ones you need protection from. My phone buzzed again, a text from Mrs. Swanson. Your mother just resigned from 3 charity boards. Cadence's country club membership has been suspended. Karma really is something, isn't it? I continued speaking to the camera. To everyone watching who's been told to keep family secrets, who's been manipulated into silence, who's been made to feel crazy for telling the truth, this is for you. Your story matters. Your truth matters. Jordan signaled that we were trending again. They staged an intervention to break me, I concluded. Instead, they freed me, and now I'm helping free others. The red light blinked off. In the silence that followed, I checked my notifications one last time. A final message from my father. I hope you're satisfied with what you've done. I typed back a simple response. I am. Are you satisfied with what you did? He never replied. He didn't need to. The truth was already out there, doing what truth does best, setting people free. Ready to go live? Jordan asked, adjusting the lighting in our new studio space. Almost. I smoothed down my blazer and checked the monitor one last time. The set behind me was simple but professional, a far cry from the bedroom backdrop where I'd started my channel. Today's live stream would be different, special. The subscriber count on the screen ticked past 5 million as viewers poured in. 30 seconds, Jordan called out. My phone buzzed, Rachel texting. Bar Association's decision just came down. Want me to tell you, or should you find out live with everyone else? Save it, I replied. Let's keep it authentic. The red light blinked on. Comments immediately started flooding the chat. Welcome, everyone, I began. Today marks the launch of Family Unfiltered, a new series dedicated to helping people recognize and escape toxic family dynamics. And we're starting with some breaking news. Jordan handed me her tablet, displaying the Bar Association's official statement. My hands didn't shake as I read it. Following a comprehensive investigation into academic and professional misconduct, Cadence Stanley Lowe has been disbarred, effective immediately. The chat exploded. I continued reading. Additionally, Franklin Lowe faces disciplinary action for his role in attempting to suppress evidence of misconduct. The law firm of Preston and Mitchell has announced both partners' immediate resignation. A notification popped up, Mrs. Swanson sending a champagne emoji. Below it, a message from Ross. Justice served. Keep fighting the good fight. But this isn't about celebration, I said to the camera. This is about consequences, about truth, about. The studio door opened. Jordan spun around, ready to stop any interruption, but froze when she saw who it was. My mother stood in the doorway, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. No designer outfit today, no perfect makeup, just a woman facing the ruins of her carefully constructed facade. Keep rolling, I whispered to Jordan, then turned to my mother. This is a private live stream. How did you get in? Security let me up. I told them I'm your mother. That doesn't mean what you think it means anymore. She nodded, wringing her hands. I know. I needed to say something. To you and to them. She gestured at the camera. I studied her face for any sign of manipulation. Found none. The floor is yours. She stepped into frame. The chat went wild. I failed you, she said simply. Not just with the intervention, not just with Harvard. I failed you every time I chose appearances over truth. Every time I let Cadence's lies stand because they fit the narrative I wanted. Why now? I asked. Why admit this now? Because I watched your videos, all of them, not just the ones about us, the ones where you expose corruption, where you help people find justice. You became everything I pretended to be, someone who actually makes a difference. The viewer count hit record numbers, everyone watching history unfold. That doesn't fix anything, I said quietly. No, she agreed. Nothing can fix what we did, but maybe. She paused, pulling out an envelope. Maybe this can help others. She handed it to me. Inside was a check with a lot of zeros, made out to my new foundation for helping victims of family abuse. It's everything I have, she said. My separate accounts, my inheritance, my jewelry fund. Use it to help people escape what we tried to do to you. I looked at the check, then at her. This doesn't earn you forgiveness. I know. I'm not asking for that. I'm just trying to put something right in the world, like you do. The chat was going crazy. Jordan's eyes were wide. This wasn't how anyone expected today to go. I turned back to the camera. Sometimes healing doesn't look like reconciliation. Sometimes it looks like boundaries, like consequences, like truth. And sometimes it looks like watching your abusers finally face themselves. My mother nodded once and turned to leave. Mom? I called after her. She paused. Thank you for the donation. The foundation will put it to good use. After she left, I faced the camera again. And that, everyone, is how we're starting Family Unfiltered. Real stories, real consequences, real change. The notifications kept coming. Stories poured in from viewers sharing their own experiences, their own victories, their own healing. Jordan wiped her eyes behind the camera. That was perfect, I finished. That was exactly what this series needed to be about. Not revenge, not destruction, but transformation. I picked up the check, enough money to help hundreds of people escape toxic situations. My mother's final attempt at control had become a tool for liberation. Ready for the next segment? Jordan asked. I smiled at the camera. Always. Because there are more stories to tell, more truth to uncover, and more people to help find their voice. They tried to silence me. Instead, they gave me a megaphone, and I was going to use it.